Chapter 25 3-year-old couple 9. The release of a new album immediately brings with it a large number of post-production events, press conferences, performances. And Minam's problems are still pending. Taekyung thought about how Yoohee and her agent got along, thought for a long time, and finally asked the director to speak frankly. No matter what, their partnership was with the director from the beginning without anything and had always reached the current peak. The trust relationship between them and the director could not be broken like this. When Nan Hoa's show finished filming, Minam's event had already been handled by director An. When she saw Minam singing on TV, she knew that this was the real Minam, not some obedient beauty. Ever since the handsome man was actually a beautiful woman incident, the atmosphere in the team has not been good. Jeremy was so angry that he ignored his two older brothers. He would often run away for a long time before returning with red eyes. Taekyung has no way, please Nan Hoa find Jeremy to confide. She called Jeremy and asked him for his address. When she found him eating a bowl of something so red that it made her stomach hurt just by looking at it. Hearing the sound, he raised his head and his face was covered in tears. She was shocked. What happened? Why are you crying? He laughed out loud. No, I'm just eating super spicy food. She took away the bowl of spicy food. Can't eat. Taekyung said you come back with red eyes every day. Do you eat this every day? Can your stomach handle it? He bowed his head in defeat. Yoohee, what to do? Even if I eat very spicy food, I still suffer a lot. She rubbed his head. Why are you so sad? Can't you tell us? Taekyung and Shinwoo are both really worried about you. Didn't they tell you how much they went overboard? He said, extremely angry. Ah. Speaking of this, I'm also really angry. Big-headed Hwang made our Jeremy sad. But he didn't apologize or make up for it, and he still asked me for help. Even asking me for help, he didn't tell me what he did that was so bad that our good personality Jeremy didn't even pay attention to him. Thinking about it makes me so angry. Yes. It's too much. Obviously the best brothers, yet they lied to me. Didn't tell me anything? It's really too much. I consider them my closest brothers, yet they don't truly consider me as their brothers. He heavily slapped the table. Yoohee, you want to stand on my side, don't pay attention to them. She amusingly handed him a tissue, making him wipe his tears and snot, but I'm not angry anymore. You know, Hwang Big Head used to be very arrogant, speaking as if spitting venom, but this time he came to ask me for help and spoke kindly. It could even be said that he bent his waist. Even so, he still couldn't tell the whole story. With my understanding of him, I believe, it's not that he doesn't trust me, but he really can't say it. Even if he says it to me, it will be bad for me. You also know what happened, think about it, isn't this really something you can't tell me? He was silent. Sending Jeremy back to the dormitory, she gave them some space, let them communicate honestly with each other, and went back first. After a while, all three people sent her thank you messages. Of course, once again Jeremy was excited and said he wanted to congratulate her on the completion of the movie, and they would celebrate together. Anyway, he wanted to gather again. Nan Hoa didn't care what excuse he gave, seeing how pitiful he was these past few days, she agreed. The meeting was held at a bar, and Go Minam also came. Nan Hoa discovered that Minam was actually a person with a very high EQ. No matter which Yoohee it was unclear why he had such a high EQ, and yet he made his sister pretend to be him. She did not intend to pursue the reason, just acted as if she did not discover anything unusual, smiling and greeting. Who knew that tonight, except for Jeremy clinging to her while dancing, Minam also kept reaching out, but her attitude was a bit more distant. In the end he could really grasp that level, never making her conflicted. Taekyung sat at the side, looking at her who was always surrounded by people, drinking glass after glass of wine. Shinwoo shook his head and smiled bitterly. Taekyung was really good, it was just that he was arrogant and refused to take the initiative. As for himself, the beautiful woman was sent abroad, and his feelings died without a trace. Although he made the choice himself, he could imagine really letting go, it was really too difficult. The gathering ended, 5 people, Taekyung and Jeremy were completely drunk, Shinwoo was still sober, only Minam and Nan Hoa did not drink much. Shinwoo himself was also staggering, calling Minam to help Jeremy together. She had no choice but to take care of Taekyung. Big head, how did you drink so much? It's so heavy. She threw him into the car and let the assistant take them to the dormitory first. Hwang Taekyung went out the door when the wind blew. He sobered up a bit, opened his eyes, and stared at her. Fairy. Fairy, why are you swinging in front of me? You are the one swinging. He suddenly sat up and threw himself on her, putting his head on her shoulder, and kept talking in his mouth. Why are you flirting like this? Why don't you turn around and look at me? I've been waiting for you to look at me. I've been waiting for a long time. A long time. She angrily pinched his face. Why do you want me to turn around to see you? You won't come find me? The other party twisted his head, feeling wronged and wanting to escape her devilish clutches. It hurts. Don't go too far away, make me unable to find you. I will seriously eat carrots in the future. But you don't need to go to such a dark place, don't make me unable to see you. She just thought of it, the bar was dark. For him who had night blindness he could hardly see anything, making it difficult for him to actually sit all night without going out. She felt a little sorry and rubbed his face that she had pinched. The car drove up under a bright screen. He grabbed that hand, opened his eyes, and tried to look after it for a long while, and suddenly bit her lips. Woo, she opened her eyes wide, her whole body stiffened. In the darkness of the car, the feeling on her lips was so clear. He didn't really bite down. After his lips touched, it immediately turned into a warm and soft feeling. The strong smell of alcohol penetrated through his lips to her lips, making her feel dazed. She reacted after a long time, pushed him away, but the feeling on the lips was still clear, her face was burning. Hurriedly threw him to the dormitory and left. She returned home under the assistant's ambiguous gaze, tossed and turned for a long time, before slowly falling asleep. The next day, Angel dormitory. Hwang Taekyung woke up, holding his head, recalling the old memories, suddenly touching his mouth, dumbfounded. Because of this unexpected kiss, the two arrogant people were unable to recover their senses. Reporter Kim felt that he had enough evidence and finally revealed the results of his investigation for several months. These days, the entertainment headlines are all, Angel leader Hwang Taekyung and national fairy Yoo-hee's love is discovered. The main text was written from the hospital parking lot. Kim reporter took a photo of Yoo-hee getting on the Angel nanny car. Then it was proven that there was only Hwang Taekyung inside. Then came the music awards ceremony. The two met reporters holding hands and running together. If these two could still be said to be friends, then the Angel scandal. The reporters waited for their dormitory for dozens of hours. Only Yoo-hee came to the dormitory alone at night. A few hours later, Hwang Taekyung took her downstairs. Before parting, the two people hugged each other tightly. The most shocking scene was last night. Angel and Yoo-hee partied together. After coming out, Yoo-hee alone helped the drunk Hwang Taekyung get into her car. Then Kim the reporter, from behind the window, took a photo of the two people kissing. Among them, the hot news was extremely abundant. Not only did it prove that Hwang Taekyung and Yoo-hee were in love, there were also many photos proving that Yoo-hee and Hwang Taekyung's brothers also had a good relationship, naturally consolidating the position of eldest sister-in-law. The couple's fans cheered and jumped, shouting loudly and passionately. Hwang Taekyung and Yoo-hee fans, some of them didn't believe it, didn't love it. More than half of them all enthusiastically expressed congratulations. Especially the groom's fans. Yoo-hee was at the forefront of the storm, not afraid of rumors, and first went to visit the Appas, making them extremely touched, sincerely hoping that such a good girl could be together with the leader. As for the other members' fans, needless to say, Yoo-hee, who was already considered to have a very good character, could become their big sister-in-law, enthusiastically expressing congratulations to the leader and the leader's wife. The representative urgently woke Nan Hoa up, disguised herself and rushed to the company to hold a meeting with the director. On the other side, Hwang Taekyung was in the same situation. Under the anxious gaze of the director and agent, Nan Hoa honestly and fairly explained the situation. The agent knew everything about the matter before. It was last night, Nan Hoa could only say that Huang Taekyung was drunk, she herself had not recovered yet. The director and the representative held their heads, looking at Nan Hoa like looking at their own cabbage being bitten by a pig. Clearly nothing was there. Now it was good, everyone saw her being bitten by a pig. If it wasn't right, it would be right. The director had already made someone contact Angel director and secretly gritted their teeth. This matter, it was necessary to make them give a solution.